You're not seeing doubles. There are two different bleed adapters for Fox X2 shocks. Hey folks, we're back again with another video, and in this video we're going to try and answer a couple of questions. One of them has to do with which fill adapter, bleed fill adapter, can I use with a Fox X2 shock? This is based off a video that I had posted not all that long ago that had to do with bleeding a Fox X2 using syringes only. The person had noticed that I had used a different bleed fill adapter than my previous X2 full service videos. So we're going to get into that. The other question has to do with, is it actually worth upgrading yourself Fox X2 shocks to make them more like the 2024, 2025 versions, all right? So first, let's start off with the first question. Which fill adapter, bleed fill adapter, can I use with a Fox Float X2 shock? Now, this is a little bit confusing. For the longest time, there was one fill adapter, part number 803-00-463, from 27 to about 2023. But in 2024, Fox went through a major revision of the X2. Lots of changes. One of the changes was the fill port. They changed the actual port itself. So that requires a whole new fill adapter, which is 803-01-691. It didn't even occur to me in that video to actually mention that. Again, I was just making a video as far as how to fill an X2 using two syringes as opposed to one syringe. Now, the real confusion, the person who asked the question had mentioned that they went to the Fox website and the documentation for the rebuild service over there says that they need to order the 803-00-463 for the 24 or 25 or newer shock. I actually looked into it. It's wrong. That documentation on the website needs to be updated, and they need to state that for 2024 and 2025, you're going to need the 803-01-691, which, by the way, this is the Float X bleed adapter for those 2-year shocks. Anything prior, you're going to need the older bleed adapter. So again, Fox needs to update their website, and I actually gave them a call to let them know, because I'm surprised that nobody else had mentioned this after all of these times. I mean, this is a long time ago when I made this video, and I'm sure a lot of other people have come across both, right? But I'm going to prove it to everyone here that these two adapters don't work across all these shocks. This is a 21, this is a 22, and this is a 24. So let's get into that one next. So for starters, never open a bleed screw unless you have taken out all the air or nitrogen within the reservoir, within the IFP chamber, or else it'll want to just explode out. Even though there's not a lot of pressure in here, it's still more than enough pressure to have that oil just explode out. Always wear your safety glasses, okay? So the first thing we need to do is, and I'm not going to do this to all of these, I just want to make sure you guys don't do this by mistake in the future. First, we are going to take out the cap for an X2, and then we're going to grab a little piece of paper towel and a 3 or 4 millimeter Allen, and we're going to let the air out of the IFP chamber. So now there should be no pressure in the system. Although, depending on, if it's new, there should be no pressure on the system. But over times, I mean, let's face it, these are X2s, the seals go, and pressure can build up in the oil. So I'm not sure if there's pressure in here or not. We will find out in a second. Now next, we're going to grab a 2 millimeter Allen and hold it vertically. Don't hold it like this because oil will want to come out, right? So we're going to hold it vertically, and we're going to take out the bleed screw, and very little oil should come out unless there's pressure. Yep, there's some pressure in there. You see that? That means there's pressure in the oil. So that's not good. Well, this thing needs to get serviced anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you had, that whole 100 PSI or 125, whatever you put in there, then all of that would have wanted to come out. I'm going to have to service this anyway, but yeah. Actually, I've got to service all 3 of these. So, okay. So now, this is the 2021. Let's take part number 803-00-463. If I take this in here, I guarantee you it will screw in perfectly, and done. Fits, right? I could sit there and put in oil and take out oil and do whatever I want. So, next, we're going to try the newer fill adapter. This one won't even fit inside, okay? It is too big, plain and simple. So we know for a 2021, oh man, tell me I didn't just drop that screw. We know for a 2021, we need the older adapter. Next, let's go into the 2022. So I have a 2022 in my hands. This is a trunnion. The 2021 was a standard mount. That's why I'm showing this one, just show you that even if it's a trunnion or not, it makes no difference. So grab our 2mm. I'd already taken out the air from the IFP chamber. So always take out the air from the IFP chamber. Oop, this one also has air in it. Look at that. See, you're not supposed to have air in your oil. Look at that fizz out. That means this one needs a service tube. Just gonna let this come out first so I don't make a mess, because believe it or not, sometimes there could be quite a bit of air in that oil, man. All right. See what I mean? There we go. Done. Let's leave that there. So again, this is a 2022. And there we go. That fits in perfectly. Again, the new one is going to be too big. Doesn't even fit in. Now let's go into the 2024. So this is the 2024. I took out the air from the IFP chamber. Now, one difference right off the bat, this is not a 2mm Allen anymore. This is a T8 Torx screw on here, okay? So they changed the screw. See if any air comes out of this one. Nope. This one's not aerated whatsoever. Cool, one less thing. So let's try and put the older part number 803-00-463 in here. Nothing. It's way too small for the hole. There's no way I could screw it in there. There's nothing for it to grab onto. Now let's grab 803-01-691. Take it, screw it in there, and boom. Perfect fit, guys. So again, that's why in that X2 video that I had posted for bleeding a shock only, it was a bleeding a shock with syringes only. It was a 2024 X2 that I had worked on. I just totally forgot to mention that little detail because I was just making a video on bleeding a shock with syringes only. But Fox absolutely needs to update their documentation to show or to state that, well, you're going to need this newer bleed adapter for the newer X2s, all right? So hopefully that answers that one. So the other question I've been asked a few times is it actually worth updating the X2 to an older X2 to a newer version on your own? And I got my thoughts on that one. Personally, I don't think it's worth doing it on your own in just about every case. Why do I say that? If you were to send an older, a 21, 22, or 23 X2 to Fox for service, they will replace it with a new equal version of what you sent in, but now it's probably going to be a 25, and it's going to cost you about $200, okay? Now, again, it depends on your situation. The reason I say that, so there's a few changes that they made with the 24 that are significant, and one of them is super significant. So let's start off with the base change for all of them. One, you're going to get a new bearing assembly. This you could buy for your older shocks and update it on your own. Two, there's a new seal kit. This you could buy on your own and update your shocks, and that will essentially, for the most part, from a functional standpoint, make it a 2024 or 2025. That will cost you about, let's say, give or take, 70 to 80 bucks, maybe even less if you get things on better discounts, right? So just those two things, the internal bearing assembly and the seal kit, which you're gonna have to buy anyway if you service your own shock, will functionally make the shock a newer version. But then there's the mechanical parts basically, right? So for starters, the trunnion eyelets. If you have a trunnion eyelet from 22 to 23, well, I would say no matter what, send it to Fox in order to get a new version, because the older trunnion eyelets, they could have stress cracks in them, okay? So, or they could get stress cracks in them. They made the eyelet more solid, essentially. So if you have a trunnion, like let's say this one over here, this 21, then I would say, or 22, I should say, then I would say, send it in, get it replaced no matter what. So you get this, because to buy this piece over here, it's not worth for you to do it. It's going to cost you about 130 bucks, give or take, right? The other changes, new damper bodies, right? Do you have to change it? Not really. You really don't. I mean, supposedly it's stronger. How much stronger? I have no idea. Damper shaft on the inside is another change. Again, they made it stronger. How much stronger? I have no idea. I don't know for the majority of you if it'll actually make a difference, right? So let's say the outer body's about, I don't know, 40 bucks, give or take. The shaft itself on the inside is about another 20 bucks. The fifth change is they put new shim tunes. Do you have to change the shim tunes? Technically, to make it a 2024 or 25, yes, but you don't have to change your shim tunes. How much of a difference is going to make? That all depends. I mean, it's really hard to say if it really will make that much of a difference. I don't have any data on that one. I can't make that call no matter what. So Fox claims that, if memory serves me correct, the new shim stacks, supposedly the older shim stacks would spike in pressures, whereas the new shim stack lowers that. Yeah, it could be. I have no idea. I'll take their word for it. How much of a difference is going to make in your riding? I have no idea. So, in general, if you have a standard eyelet, you don't have to worry about changing out the standard eyelet. They made no changes to it. If your shaft, or if your damper body and your shaft are in good shape, you don't have to change them. You don't really have to change your shim stack. So again, all you would need is the bearing assembly and a seal kit, which you'd have to buy anyway, to convert your 21 to 23 into a 24-25 version functionally, right? So, but in this case, for instance, I got dents on the shaft. This one's been used. I got dents on the shafts, right? I don't know what the shaft on the inside looks like. And again, changing the bearing assembly. Fox was smart when it came to pricing. If you want to change everything, it's going to cost you 200 bucks plus, actually. So at that point, why not just send it in if you have to change all that stuff and get a whole new shock? Now, again, if your damper and your shaft are in great shape and you have a standard mount, then you really, again, about 90 bucks without changing the shim stack, about 90 bucks and you're done. You have everything you need, right? This is a 22. Again, it's not worth it. I might as well get this changed. Technically, I don't have to. It all depends on the trails you ride, but to play it safe, just in case you do end up developing a fracture or stress crack in your trunnion head, again, send it in. If it's trunnion, pay the 200 bucks for the service. That's 200 with shipping, by the way. Or give or take where you live, actually. So, and you will get a whole new shock. Okay, so those are my thoughts on that one. For the most part, yes, send it to Fox, pay the 200 bucks, get a whole brand new 2025, essentially, X2. Or if you meet certain requirements where your body's in good shape, your shaft is in good shape, you don't care about changing your shim stack because it's working for you great right now, just go out there, buy the eyelet assembly. Again, you get them for about 40 bucks, give or take, or the eyelet, the bearing assembly, and you're going to need a new seal kit for a full service, then you're done. You got basically a functional 2025 Fox X2 shock. All right. So hopefully that answers that one. This video is a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but hey, what are you going to do? It's me. I think you guys are all used to that right now, right? So, folks, if you like the video, click that like button, click that subscribe button to see more videos, click that bell button, what ding, in order to get notified when new videos get released. More videos like this are coming. If you want to see a couple of videos out there right now, check those two out. They might be of interest. And until the next time, I hope all's well with all of you, and we will be talking to you all soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.